Okay, here we are. Live stream number 2. Welcome here, everybody. My name's Paul. I'm a YouTuber and a filmmaker and an artist and a dad and a guy from Winnipeg, Manitoba. This is my second live stream ever, so I'm just trying to work out all the kinks. In the system here. I tried to update, for those of you who are joining on YouTube, I tried to update my camera settings here, and I'm working off of a separate camera. And everybody on TikTok, I'm using my phone again. I don't know, I guess you could do an external camera on that as well, but I don't know how to do that. Maybe we'll work on that next time. Anyway, yeah, what I did yesterday was I just wanted to play. I played a little bit of music and I told some stories about songs that I've written. And I thought I'd try the same thing today. I'm just going to sort of continue where I left off yesterday. Yesterday I talked about music that I sort of wrote in my late teens and early 20s. And now I'm sort of, I guess, in about my mid 20s or so. Storytelling wise, today I'm in my late 30s. I'm about 39 years old. I'm 100% 39 years old, not about 39. So this is a song called Rose Petals, which I wrote probably in my early 20s. Again, for me, my 20s was a period of romance, of trying to find myself, discover myself. And I really love the movie Breakfast at Tiffany's. So this song is a little bit kind of inspired by Breakfast at Tiffany's, and kind of that sort of an era and a vibe, sort of this old acoustic solo singer kind of a song. I wanted to write something a little bit whimsical, a little bit wandering, and maybe a song that wasn't so tied down to, like, I have written so many songs that are tied down to like a finger picking sort of rhythm or a strumming rhythm, and I wanted to write something that was a little bit more lyrical. So this is a really short song that I wrote in my 20s called Rose Petals. Rose petal, caterpillar's eyes pass into sky away, and so do I, and so do you, spires of white, where only you would know. And so do I, and so do you, spires of white, where only you would know. That's Rose Petals. Yeah, that's a little song I wrote in my 20s. And that song has just like been a nice companion, I guess, sort of through my life. It's, it doesn't try to draw attention to itself. It's a quiet sort of contemplative song, but I like the way it wanders and meanders, and yeah. So that's Rose Petals. I'm not going to try to stream to be live for as long as I was yesterday. Yesterday I went for about an hour, and today I want to try to, I don't know, keep it to about half an hour or so. Again, I'm just sort of kind of experimenting with this whole process. So for everybody who's joining me, thank you so much. Thanks for sitting in and checking this out. It's really cool to be sharing this moment and sharing this space with you guys. again, I'm just sort of going through my life. I'm telling some stories about songs I've written throughout my life and what those songs kind of mean to me. So again, as I mentioned before, my 20s were sort of, I was writing music. I wanted to be a musician, but I was struggling, with the business end of things. Creativity wasn't hard for me, but the business was a little bit more difficult. Um, and as a lot of people go through in their 20s, I went through a number of different relationships. And wherever I was, I always had music that I could write, that I could express myself, that I could sort of claim my own place. So this is a song called More Than You, which is sort of a bit of a jazzy song that how do I say about this song? It's sort of I was living in Toronto, and I was probably not in the best headspace for life, but for music, I guess I was in a fairly creative headspace, and I wrote this song just trying to so much of music for me is just trying to pour out my heart and my emotions and claim something and say something's real, even though it's inside me, it's real, and it deserves at least my attention, if not someone else's attention. So this song is called More Than You, and it's a little bit, the lyrics are, last night I had this dream, somebody loved me more than you. But when I awoke, I realized it wasn't true. It's a little bit sad, but let's see if we can all get through it together. Last night I had this dream, somebody loved me more than you. When I awoke, I realized it wasn't true. So don't you fight the way you feel tonight. And if you go away, they will find you in the end. You won't be coming home again. Oh, la da 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 da, la da 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 da. Follow, I will find brightest light to lead you on your way. If you would only mean to meet me again someday. But if you choose to wear those heavy, heavy shoes, it won't be long before you're stumbling upon those heels again. You never listen to anybody anyway. Oh, la da 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 da, la da 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 da, ooh, la da da da, ooh. Last night I had this dream, somebody loved me more than you. When I awoke, I realized it wasn't true. Oh, why don't you do the things you wanted to? That's More Than You. That's that's another little song I wrote. That one that one's fun to play and fun to sing. It sort of it sort of squiggles its way inside me and kind of pulls something else out, which which is part of the beauty of music. Is it allows you to, when you write music, it allows you to sort of introspect, and express yourself in different ways. And that one was um, yeah, that one was that one, whatever that is. I mean, it's also funny, when you write music, that it's so representative of a particular time and place that you're in. Um, and then when you leave that place, you sort of think, well, what was that? That I don't, that doesn't really necessarily resonate with me now as much, but I can feel what it was like to be there. I guess I can't really, with regard to that song more than you, I can't feel. I mean, I could describe the time period a little bit better, but um, it's just not where I am now. So it more feels like like a postcard from far away. Um, all right, let's keep moving along here. So again, like I feel like my home when I um, as I wrote music, I always kind of came back to this home of fantasy and imagination, and that sort of has been this thing that I return to as like my own truth, my own being, and I've sort of tried to express myself in different ways based off of where I'm at, but where I'm at home is sort of um, I don't know, in sort of yeah, uh, sort of a personal place inside my imagination, I guess. Um, so I wrote a lullaby. I used to host an open mic in my 20s. I used to work at a coffee shop north of Toronto, in a town called Stouffville. And I would host this open mic. And it was so great because I got to sort of open up the stage and invite different artists, and throughout the night I would play different songs and stuff, and just a real chance to celebrate and showcase other people's talents and abilities. And then at the end I got to play some music as well, and I always like to close the night out with this song. This song is called Go to Sleep. And it's a song that I love to play for my kids now as well. Some 15 years, 15, 17 years after I wrote this song. And this one really makes me feel like, it makes me think about like classic Disney, I guess, think about like Peter Pan or maybe Mary Poppins, this sort of classic Disney whimsy is where this song sort of feels like it kind of lives. The song's called Go to Sleep. Go to sleep and you'll be sorry. Go to sleep and you'll be endlessly with the night, and you'll wake in the morning sometime. Go to sleep and you'll be endlessly with the night, and you'll wake in the morning sometime. Go to sleep, you little one. Rise the moon, set the sun, and tomorrow a new day will dawn. All the stars in the sky lend you wings, and you fly out into the amazing unknown. You pass a pixie in style, sing a song, share a smile, listen to the amazing aria. drift and dream a while down Blueberry Mile. It's an ocean to save, loving child. So go to sleep and you'll be endlessly with the night. And you'll wake in the morning sometime. Go to sleep and you'll be endlessly with the night. And you'll wake in the morning sometime. Yeah, that song's Go to Sleep. And it was always a nice way to end the coffee house, end the open mic. You know, it was sort of later in the evening. Well, for me later, kind of around like 9 p.m., maybe 9:30, and people would sort of like push in their chairs and head out the door, and it was yeah, a nice way to thank people for watching, for listening, for participating. Yeah, I always liked that song, and I still like it. But it's funny because that song kind of only lives in terms of like I'm playing it now in the middle of the afternoon, but it's a great like end of the night song. Yeah. Yeah, sorry. And again, so everybody knows, I am not a professional musician. I play music for fun. I used to kind of, for a time in my 20s, I pursued a career as a musician, but that ship has sailed. So now I just play for fun. So I apologize for the mistakes, the errors. Some of these songs I haven't played a bunch recently. I just wanted to play them to kind of remember them and share a little bit about my journey that's sort of brought me to this place and this moment. I do love playing music, and music has always really meant something to me, and it's always been such a great way for me to express myself and to it's funny how a lot of moments, not I would say there's probably a song for every moment. But at least there are so many things you can't articulate other than through music. And that's such a beautiful thing about music is it's this companion that you sort of have with you. It's this thing that you have in your back pocket. You know, I love making videos and making movies. I love writing. I love, I do love performing and sharing things with people. But music is another thing that I just love. That sort of feels like it's really a part of me. So yeah, that was Go to Sleep. And I wrote that kind of in my 20s. A lot of these songs are songs that I wrote in my 20s because that's when I wrote a lot of music. I have been writing more music kind of recently, and we might not get there today, but I think that I might want to do another, installment of this in a couple days. Again, just for anyone who's joining right now, this is my second live stream ever. So I'm just kind of using this as a way to experiment a little bit. I sort of feel like I can't live stream unless I'm doing something, because who wants to watch me just, sit? So this is what I kind of came up with. I'm going to just sort of play music and tell stories. So so those of you who don't know, my name's Paul, and I among being sort of a filmmaker, an artist, etc. I also am a third culture kid, which means that I grew up in a different culture than my parents did. I was born in Manitoba, and I grew up overseas. I grew up in Africa, and I grew up in Zambia and Sudan. And this was sort of in the 90s that I was living in Zambia and Sudan. And then later on, by the by, I became a filmmaker and I started making movies, traveling around the world. And my parents were living in Kenya when I first became a filmmaker, and I traveled there for Christmas often as a single person. You know, I was living in Toronto and I went to Kenya for Christmas. And, you know, when you're exposed to another side of the world and you're exposed to, to injustice, to income inequality, when you're exposed to things that don't seem quite right, and you go there, and then you come home, you come back to North America, and you notice like nobody seems to care about this stuff. What's going on? I thought, oh, why not try to write a song that expressed that in a way? If you joined me yesterday, if you didn't, that's fine. But I played two songs that I sort of wrote in my teens. One was called Philiptic, which kind of explored mental health in a bit of a way, but also sort of what it means to sort of be a prophet. And I wrote it, and I shared a song called Taxi, which was sort of like exploring my mind and what was happening in my mind, and also some sort of like spiritual, religious themes and elements. I thought, well, what if I took some time to actually like research various different topics and write a song about injustice, I guess, and maybe cynicism, you know, and maybe how I felt about those things. So I wrote this song called Border Towns, which it's a hip hop song. So the hip hop music that I've written sort of it wanders and meanders. It's an excuse for me to sort of like ping pong all over the place with concepts and ideas. But really, I talk a little bit about how power corrupts. Absolute power corrupts. Absolutely is something that's shared a lot. Talk a little bit about Idi Amin. I talk a little bit about Israel Palestine. Sort of in military industrial complex. There's a lot that's sort of in this song, but ultimately I wanted to share some different thoughts that I had about the world, and then ultimately, where do I sit in all of this, and how do I feel about all this? So this song is called Border Towns. I wrote it, I guess I was sort of in my mid-20s, so maybe probably about 15 years ago. Okay, here we go. Border Towns. Outside, ripping the ball to bits. I got the Ronaldo kick with the bicycle backflip. Dribbling past a little too fast on my toe trip. The power to gain became the power to lose on my focus. Cause power corrupts. Look at Idi Amin. It's better to be in poverty instead of infecting a country. The whole town locked down under the gun. You better consider the consequences of trying to run. And if he had a senator that didn't obey, he'd break his neck instead of letting the government get in his way. Remember what he used to say whenever the media came, quote, I ate them before they ate me. That ain't democracy, cat, that's a dictatorship, and you may be debating it, but the fate of the nation is a painful awakening. When the authorities come, another regime undone, so let it all fall down. Let the oil fields drown, the city's underwaves, swallowed by the sound, and the angels say, you've got to make your way, hey, up to higher ground, by the border towns. So let it all fall. Opportunity knocks when they decide to deposit me up in the Bombay Bazaar. I'm getting the cost of my products. Somebody spotted my wallet. God without did he profit by picking my pocket and putting a couple colorful clothes in his closets. The West Bank, I promise I'll never forget. All the security checks because of the terrorist threat. The people of Israel have suffered enough. Let's give them a rest. Forget about Palestine. We're making the Arab oppressed. I met an American man, the way to Sudan, who told me that everything I wanted was in the palm of my hand. Just look at the way we react whenever we under attack. When we know it's a fact that half of the nations we bury about bound to be back. Iraq, Iran, Afghanistan, and Tibet, Sierra Leone, Laos, Azerbaijan, Peru, Bangladesh. You got the sweatshop child looking at us through the cracks of the capitalist trap. So let it all fall down. Let the oil fields drown. The city's under waves, swallowed by the sound. And the angels say, you got to make your way, hey, up to higher ground, by the border towns. So let it all fall down, 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 down. Father used to tell me I could decide to be whatever I wanted to be. If I tried, you gotta fight to survive. You fight all the time and never swallow your pride. You'll be alone when you die. Sometimes I find this lesson difficult to believe. Surrounded by the people profiteering from greed. You get the feeling in my soul it's about to explode, and I'm still looking for the road. Nobody's ever been down. Let the oil fields drown. The city's under waves, swallowed by the sound. And the angels say, you got to make your way up to higher ground, by the border towns. So let it all fall down. Whoa, there you go. Border towns. That song's a bit intense, but thank you for listening. I appreciate it. Yeah, that song's well, that one's a bit of an emotional roller coaster. I like that one. I'm proud of it. It's a bit of an intense song. It looks like my battery's going to die on my camera here, so I don't know how much longer this is gonna last. Anyway, I want to thank you folks for joining me. I definitely want to do this again. I got some more songs I want to sing. I want to get through a little bit more. See that Matthew K just gave some props there. Thank you so much for the support, for the generosity. I'm seeing some more. I'm also learning about the chat feature. I don't know about everything. I don't know how to do this. But you know what? I'm just going to say for everybody on YouTube and everybody on TikTok who is watching, who is supporting me in this, thank you so much. It really means a lot. Again, I love performing. I love playing music. I love writing. I love sharing. And whenever the fact that people show up and listen and watch and share positivity in return, it really feels beautiful. It feels like we're part of something. We're connected, and I just love human connection so much. Yeah, I definitely want to do more stuff like this. Again, if you haven't already, you could check out some of the videos that I have both on YouTube and on TikTok. I love making videos, and I definitely want to do more live streaming, live stuff as well. I think I'm just sort of, my training wheels are on here with music and stuff, but I definitely would love to, I live in Winnipeg, Manitoba, and I'd love to do some more exploring my city or doing other kind of cool stuff that's not just sort of sitting here. But the fact that you guys have joined me for this, for me just sitting here playing music, it really means a lot. So thank you so much. And now, if you don't mind, you're gonna get to watch me awkwardly try to end the stream. But again, thank you so much for joining, and I'll see you guys next time, maybe. And if not, that's cool too. Anyway, have a good day, guys. Oh man, how do you, oh, there you go. And beautiful. Me Wei,
Hey, how's it going? Good to see you. Thanks for watching, and take care, guys. All right, bye.